Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Ascalise, the inventress. My business is Inventing A to Z. At Inventing A to Z, I work with clients to take their products from concept to fruition, from a napkin idea all the way to the marketplace and everything in between, the right way. If you want to contact me, email me, Lisa at inventingatoz.com. My website, inventingatoz.com. Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Ascalise, the inventress. Welcome to my podcast. Hi, everybody. This is Lisa Ascalise, the inventress. Welcome to the Inventress Podcast. This week, I'm so excited to introduce you to probably one of the best people I've ever known on the planet. He is a producer, director of film and television, and we've been friends for more than 35 years. I can't believe I'm saying it. Welcome to my show, my friend. I love you, Howie Zeidman. Howie?
Oh, you're too kind, Lisa. You're too kind.
What the heck, man?
Yeah.
I miss you. I miss your family. How are you doing?
Yeah, this quarantine kind of came between us, right?
It did. And this is where we start. I mean, typically I've been starting my shows with asking people how they're doing because we're all in quarantine and how you doing with your families. But you really have faced it head on. So
Yes, I have.
you literally, Howie, you had COVID and you overcame it. And this is the biggest part of the show today. We've got a lot to talk about, but you overcame COVID. What the heck? You had it. I was dying for you.
I had it pretty bad, right at the borderline of having to go to the hospital, but not. And I had a teleconference, and I had to even shave my mustache. My wife, after 40 years, has never seen me without a mustache.
Get the heck out of here.
So I had to look at a YouTube tutorial how to shave a mustache because I never did it.
Wait, you always had a mustache?
Ever since my wife knows me, since 1974, never shaved it off for anything.
Oh, poor Hannah. I mean, you too, but mostly for...
Luckily, I didn't need the ventilator because the tubing goes right across the upper lip.
Jesus
and mustaches house bacteria. So anybody who presumptively will go on a ventilator will probably not be allowed to have facial hair, is the way I understood it anyway. But at the time it was going on, I didn't care what happened.
So you had it, but how did you know you had it? Like, I mean, did you even know you had it?
Well, I was on vacation in Aruba, and it was the last of 5 days, and when we were going to sleep, we both started to cough. My wife had it also, by the way. We both tested at the same time, and we both tested positive. But the morning of leaving there, we were both very sick. I mean, it felt like a really bad cold, lethargic, coughing, sore throat. My wife had no taste and no smell. I didn't have that symptom, but my fever was always over 103 from the time I got home. And I believe I took the test the 24th of March, and my doctor put me on the hydrochloroquine with the Zithromax. And I feel that helped me break the fever because nothing I did, no amount of Tylenol, cold rags in the armpit, cold rags on the forehead, nothing would bring the temperature down. But once I had that dose, 3 days into I believe it was a 10-day dose, I started to feel better, and the fever finally broke. That was the worrisome part, the fever. You know,
yeah, that's dangerous, especially for people. I'm sorry, for people, especially for people over whatever the age. I mean, when you're, so you had a fever of 100 and what?
103 and a half.
Jeez.
For quite a long time, up and down. If it came down to 102.
For how long?
For If it came down at all, it came down to 102.
For how long,
but for
Howie?
5 days until that medicine was in me, it was constantly high. And that's why I thought I was going to have to be hospitalized. I never had any shortness of breath. I've never had a breathing issue. I did have shortness of breath walking up the stairs because I was weak, but just for those reasons, not because I had shortness of breath from the COVID. I did not.
And what about Hannah? So you know what's crazy? Like, this is what people want to know. So you both contracted it, I assume, at the same time, because you both got sick at the same time.
That's why we're thinking that the plane ride down,
Going to Aruba?
going to Aruba on the 12th of March.
Mm-hmm.
So it took four days to manifest itself before any symptoms showed, and that is kind of the incubation period for COVID. We both got sick the exact time. When we got off the plane 5 hours later, we were almost paralyzed, couldn't walk. That's how sick we were.
Going home
On the 17th, I believe. And when we went home, we either went home the 16th or 17th, but the next day, after we got home, neither one of us could get out of bed. So the only thing we could think of, there was a convention of biker people, smokers cough and laugh at the same time.
Yes, yeah.
Covering their mouths, and in a confined space like that, where every seat was taken on the plane,
Mm-hmm.
we imagine we contracted it on the plane.
Holy cow! So you enjoyed your entire vacation?
Enjoyed the entire vacation. Totally normal the whole vacation. The night after dinner.
Mm-hmm.
The last day being down there, we came up to the room and we started to cough, both of us.
Which was on the 24th.
No, it was on.
You got home on the 12th.
15th or so of March.
Okay. So March 5th. Okay. And then,
Yep.
So then you were just hanging out. Did you think anything of it?
Yeah, we thought it had to be. And what the problem was at that particular time frame, there was no way to get tested because they had just come out with the Bergen Community College, the place on the Garden State Parkway.
Mm-hmm.
What's that called? Where they were giving the tests.
PNC, like PNC,
The PNC
yeah.
Center, that hadn't even opened yet.
Uh-huh.
So Hannah's friend found out from a worker that the urgent care in my area were
Mm-hmm.
giving tests. So she said, be online at 8 o'clock. We were the fourth car online that
No
day.
way.
No
way.
So we got a kind of heads up, and I got to thank that girl. But we both got tested, and it wasn't till Saturday or Sunday. Got tested on a Tuesday, so it was 5 days before we had the results. But those were a really tough 5 days because we didn't know, and we were both flat on our back.
Get the heck out of here. So what did they do? So I mean, this is what people will want to ask you. So how did they test you, number one? What was your test?
The test was agonizing. And, I don't mean to scare anybody. It is uncomfortable. But since the nasal swab, where they put it in and they have to keep it in each nostril and roll the Q-tip around. Very, very uncomfortable. No pain, just discomfort.
Mm-hmm. For how long? How long did that last?
15 seconds each nostril.
Okay. All right. So 15 seconds. They put the swab up there.
Yeah, and then there's burning afterwards in the nostril. Not horrible after, but very, very uncomfortable during. But they've since come out with saliva tests and blood tests that they do. So the testing for COVID now is much easier because of all these things that they've had in just a 2-month period.
So they're no longer doing the swab test, or
they are doing the swabs. Most people will get the swab.
Mm-hmm.
But I spoke to somebody today who was in a Whole Foods in Los Angeles, and they made an announcement that some worker tested positive for COVID, and everybody who was in the store in that time frame needed to get tested. So she got tested, but they took her blood. It was just a regular blood draw. That's a simple thing. I'd rather have a blood draw than to have a nasal swab now after having it and knowing the difference between the two.
Yeah, but does anybody really know the difference between the two? Is it more accurate when you're getting, I assume it's more accurate when you're getting a blood draw?
I don't know. Why didn't they do that before?
I don't know, but who knows? You know who?
But that was the method. Just in 2 months, they've changed the whole method, the whole methodology, and it's so much easier today to get tested. And anybody shows symptoms.
And
You know,
what's the accuracy though, Howie? Like what's the
I don't
accuracy?
know.
No one knows. Like you don't know. I mean, you just went through it, and I guess the next question is, I mean, thank God you're healthy. Thank you, Jesus, that
Yes.
you and Hannah both are recovered. And have you been retested?
I haven't been retested, but I'm going to get the antibody test once things calm down, because I don't really want to walk into a medical facility now, even though I've had it and I really trust that I won't get it again. Because when you've had the measles, you don't get the measles again. When you've had the mumps, you don't get the mumps again. So I would trust. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I have confidence that I've already had it. So I can go places and be confident to myself that I'm not going to get it again.
That's
But
in your
I
that
am interested in seeing the antibody count.
That's in your own mind though, because we don't know, right? I mean,
We
I
don't
hope
know.
and pray.
We don't know.
I hope and pray, and I'm thankful that you're well and you both got it. And how do you feel right now?
I feel great. I feel totally normal. And what I was just going to say in conclusion with that subject is I haven't turned on a television yet or the radio and heard, oh, so-and-so has had COVID and has it again.
Yes.
If I heard that, I might be a little more panicky.
So now you are, I can't, no, I can't imagine. I can't imagine because I listen to the news and I have not slept one full night since all of this. And then hearing when we talked and you told me that you had it and well, you couldn't talk even. When you said to me you couldn't talk, I was like freaked out because we talked.
Yeah.
When you
In the
couldn't
first
talk on the
5
phone and
days,
you
I
text
couldn't.
me.
What I failed to mention also, the headache is the most incredible headache you've ever felt. I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
migraine person, but I could tell you, I couldn't watch television. I couldn't read the phone. Anything, any movement would be jarring. My head would just explode. That's pretty much how I knew I had it, with the headache 3 or 4 days in. Just couldn't move. Any movement, going to the bathroom was tough. Just to walk.
Who took care of you?
Well, Hannah did. She resolved quicker than I did.
But when you were both sick, how did that work?
Nobody. There were pads on the floor for the dog, and nobody had an appetite, so eating wasn't an issue. Weight loss was great. I don't recommend it as a way to lose weight, but we both lost a lot of weight. And when she resolved and began cooking, all the weight began to come back.
You're all good now. It's all back.
It's
Everything
all
you
good.
lost, you retrieved.
Yes. And, now it bothers me, just a simple thing with people can't even observe an arrow on the floor in the grocery store and walk the right way. That's why people get sick.
Yes.
The disregard for fellow humans, it's really a terrible thing.
So
just look at the arrow on the floor. Can't even do that.
You know what? This is where, I mean, we could go on forever. Like, this is, like, Brittany's not, she's typically on the podcast, but we're social distancing and she's in her own space. But she was saying, ask Howie, Mommy. She goes, how is he now? Like, how are you guys functioning after you had it? So now when you go out, now you're back to work, you're working, you do your job, you're doing things. I know you're retired, but how does the world look to you when you go back out?
I'm still taking precautions. I'll wear a mask just like everybody else. I'll follow the arrows on the floor because, like we said earlier, we don't know if you can get it again. What if we hear all of a sudden there's an outbreak? 6,000 people got it again. That becomes a whole other problem.
Right.
But I haven't gotten the antibody test yet because I'm waiting to see. There's a couple of questions as to whether you get the finger prick or you get the blood draw. I prefer the blood draw in the fold of the arm. I rather than the finger prick. Not because I'm afraid of it, but I hear that that's the better test. The blood draw with the serum in the tube.
Right. Well, because it's more accurate with blood. I mean, I
think it's more accurate. And one of my coworkers had COVID, and he draws his blood every day, and he watches his
Wow.
antibody count. I can't look at the computer
Wow.
because that's his personal information.
Sure.
But I know that's what he's doing. He's doing his own finger stick, and he's monitoring his antibody count.
Mm-hmm.
So he does his every day. I don't see the purpose of it every day right at the moment, but at one point, probably within the next week, I'm going to get the antibody test with the blood draw.
So prior to you getting, and I think that's a really smart thing that you're going to do. Just
Yes.
really getting the blood draw, but that takes brevity. Like, how do you feel? Are you afraid?
I'm not afraid.
You're
I'm
not afraid. Okay.
Because I'm a child of the 50s, and we had inoculations, and the school
Yes.
nurse used to give us shots.
Yes.
The school nurse used to give us shots. There's a vaccine.
Yes,
So
Howie.
You
Yeah.
know, and I think that's where my fear of needles came, because they didn't really care. They were just,
They're like,
brutes
stick.
when they stuck the needle in your arm. And also, those needles of yesterday were bigger gauge needles than today. It doesn't hurt today.
Yeah, no, I mean, those needles were like, oh my God. What?
To an 8-year-old, it looked like a giant needle coming at you.
And it was.
It was.
It was a giant needle.
In today's world, needles being given by school nurses.
No, and they didn't give a crap. They didn't care. There was no compassion. They just gave you the needle. It was, just, oh my gosh.
And there was some kind of injection. I think it might have been a smallpox injection in the late 50s or 60s.
It was.
It disfigured your arm for
It
life.
was smallpox. Yes, it was.
It was smallpox.
Yep.
It disfigured you for life.
I still have it. Do you not have that mark?
I don't have it, but the difference is I'm fat, you're not. And
I have the mark.
I can't see mine through the folds of fat.
I love it.
I know I had it.
Wait, so listen, I have to segue. So the other night, I couldn't sleep because I never sleep anymore. Ever. Because
I have
of
a
all.
solution for that.
Wait.
But that'll be off the air.
Okay, no, wait. No, oh my God. Please, Howie, please. So I watched Mission Impossible the other night, because in the middle of the night, of course, with Tom Cruise, and they had this needle that they put in. I can't remember this gorgeous model's name. Not model, she's an actress. And this is terrible. I can't think of her name. But he had to inject her with this gun because she injected herself with something because she had to save him. And it reminded me of when I was, I guess, 9, 10 years old. And I got this I think it was smallpox injection.
Yeah, it was a gun type of instrument.
It was a gun.
It was a gun type of instrument.
It was a gun.
Absolutely.
And we were, so we have no reason to fear for anything anymore. That's exactly what it was. It was, and then he gave her an antibody, which was this giant thing, this needle that went into her arm. But the bottom line is she lived. And I think we will all live through all of this insanity that we've never lived through before, but generations before us in the 1800s and prior. I mean, listen, we've been through so much. And
we have, and I just think the world is going to be anxious and nervous and angry with this until they come out with a vaccine and they're 100% sure. But something else will come along, and it's inevitable. Hopefully not in our lifetime, but can it happen again? Of course. Who knows? Who knows why this happened? There were so many theories as to why this happened, and it hasn't happened since 1918 with the Spanish flu. And they just didn't have the medical technology to save the people. Even with our technology today, look at how many people died.
Yeah, we don't have the technology that I think that we just think we're cool. We're not cool enough. We need to get cooler and get stuff. We need to get cooler.
How about that invention, a COVID-19 vaccine?
Mm-hmm.
Think that would go over well?
No, we just need to get cooler. We're not as cool as we think. And shockingly so. And I don't want to get into the political aspect of this. I'm just happy that you and Hannah are well, and you muddled through it, and you did have a great vacation.
I
And
had a great vacation. I have to say, with our schedules in work and our normal job, it really gave us more time together. We actually had good times because I work 4 days sometimes, just freelance. I don't work. I'm retired from staff, so I don't work 5 days a week anymore. But still, our schedules conflict. When I work the overnight, so I have to go to bed at 7:00. She gets home at 6:00, so we have no real quality time together. But this 2 months together has really, it's been great. She's been able to cook. I usually don't make her cook because she leaves at 6 and comes home at 6. So I'll just grab something because I'm home at 3:00 in the afternoon.
And you cook, right?
Something. What's that?
You cook, right?
I don't.
So you just said I don't make her cook. That's a whole nother topic. So she doesn't cook.
I cooked once when I was single, which I don't even remember being single. And within minutes, the fire department was there.
So I go back to you make her cook, and she makes herself cook because she's going, H to the no, is he ever cooking? Ever.
No, I don't cook. It's just not my thing. Just like she can't go to work and work a TV camera or direct a show.
Yeah.
That's what it's like to me. I just have to learn. Can I follow a recipe? Probably. But it tastes better when she makes it. That's my excuse.
You know what I love about you, Howie? You're such a, for people who saying I don't make, they heard that part. I don't make her cook. It's not about making her cook. She cooks because she loves to cook, and that's what she loves to do for you.
Yes,
and you do amazing things for your wife, because I know you. I know how awesome you are as a father, as a husband, giving, mentor. It's, she does what she does, and you guys have understood, she understands. She's like, you know what, Howie, you go over there, go sit down. You can go vacuum while I'm making this incredible meal. And you have found.
That's how it is. That's
exactly.
Why we're together almost 50 years.
And I love your relationship. I mean, you guys have been amazing. And this is how you survived this whole COVID thing. I mean, you are a team. You could not have gotten through this without each other. You had fun. I mean, once you got better, you were able to laugh and just have conversations. And
we watch TV together. We never get to watch TV together.
And you got to do things
she watches, I don't watch. But I'm an old time guy, so I'll hit YouTube. I like. She says I like to live in the past. That's true. I do like to live in the past. I like the old days. I like the good old days.
Phil and I had that conversation.
Say one day when you arrived at my job, what happened?
Okay, so we have to tell the story though, Howie. So, all right. So we're talking about ABC television. So.
Right.
So, everybody who's listening knows who Lisa Askeles is, or some don't. Lisa Askeles, the inventress, has always been very forward, and this is just what I do. So, go ahead, Howie. You can. So, I came to your set.
There's a part A and a part B. I'll tell both.
Go ahead.
The part A is I worked on a soap opera, One Life to Live, which I only wish that they would start running the reruns because I would make so much money off residuals if that happened. Mm-hmm. Because General Hospital is now running out of original shows. Mm-hmm. Young and the Restless is now airing reruns.
So let me interrupt you for 1 second. So they're all reruns. Everything we see on ABC are reruns?
Not General Hospital yet, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't really watch it. Mm-hmm. But I did read that there are only a few shows or a few weeks left of original material. Mm-hmm. Days of Our Lives, what they shot in June, was on the air in December. They were because they work 6 months on and 6 months off.
Oh, okay.
So when at the time I was at One Life to Live, we would be about a month ahead. So right. I don't know what they were doing out there, but whatever they were doing, past March 23rd or whenever they stop production, mm-hmm. they're running out of the content. Mm-hmm. So they have to air something at 3:00. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the soap opera fans, and it'd be interesting on Friday night on ABC, 2020 is doing a thing on the history of soap, so maybe it'll help bring back reruns of One Life to Live and All My Children, because ABC now has the licensing back. They lost it to a company called Prospect Park for a little bit.
Get out of here.
but it reverted back to ABC, so they can, in essence, air old material, and that's for people like me. See, Hannah won't watch.
And you're there. I mean, that's who you are, Howie.
Yes.
You're old school soap opera, like you produced and directed. Like this is the camera. You did all of that.
I started out as a cable puller on Ryan's Hope.
I totally forgot about Ryan's Hope.
Yes.
Ryan's Hope.
I was at Ryan's Hope in 1976. It had been on the air 1 year when I got there. So I came in around the 275th show. So they were fairly new when I came, but I was only a cable puller.
But you were a kid though too.
I was a kid.
Howie, you were a little kid. I mean, this is
20 years old when I got there.
And you're talking about, you said 1970 what?
1976.
1976. You were a baby.
Yeah, I was very lucky. Of course, my dad knew somebody higher up in ABC, so but they gave the business to. They didn't really like people who got in that way, but that was the way to get in. Mm-hmm, so who am I to say no? I got a job, but I actually started in radio when I was 18. Mm-hmm. I couldn't do it because I lived in Old Bridge because there was no bus because they gave me overnight hours. I was 18 and there was no transportation, public transportation, bus-wise in 1975. So I had to go to my friend and say, I can't do it. You know, my mom doesn't drive and I don't have a car.
Oh, my
God.
God.
Said, that's all right, I'll put you in TV. And I landed at Ryan's Hope.
That's absurd.
So that first job was great. It didn't work out because it opened the door for TV for me, where I wanted to be anyway. He put me in radio just to get broadcasting experience. But, you know, and the guy who hired me, not my father's friend, but the guy who actually hired me, hired Bob Iger at the same time, who is just stepping down a few months ago from the CEO of Disney. I don't know him personally, but I have met him a few times, and he knows who I am, which is unbelievable. People can't believe that he comes over and says hello to me. But I haven't seen him in a long time.
All people.
He has a book out that it doesn't talk that much about the experience, but Bob Iger, at the time I was at Ryan's Hope, was the studio manager of that studio that they shot in. Mm-hmm. So we worked together indirectly.
Oh my gosh, Howie.
That's kind of an oxymoron, but you know, he worked night shift and I did production. He supervised the building of the sets overnight. Because in the early soap opera days, they would change the sets.
And this is Bob Iger.
And now they shoot because they can edit on computers. So if they have one set up, they'll shoot a month's worth of show in that one set, then take it down and just piece it together. In the old days, in the 70s, they couldn't do that. We actually shot a whole day script in a day, and then it aired 5 days later at Ryan's Hope.
My God.
It was very interesting. And Bob was the supervisor at night, and my friend Alan Needleman was the supervisor in the daytime to supervise production. But we were in the same building at the same time. Jeez. Their offices were upstairs, and the studio was on the ground level because you got to have sets moved in off the street. Can't have a second floor studio if you don't have an elevator because you can't bring the sets up.
Absolutely.
But let me get back to the story with you. How, you know, I had already known you.
I'm getting nervous. Okay, go ahead.
I don't remember which child we were with, but we're shooting, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this really good lady walking down the center aisle of the studio. Soap operas have a center aisle where the booms are, and then the cameras are in the set, so they face each other. You remember that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They face each other. So I see this woman with a kid coming down with taping, and I see this woman walking, and she's coming towards me. I said, "Oh my God, I had at least to get past these guards. There's 4 sets of guards to get before you get into the studio." And here comes Lisa walking down with a young child. So I had to stop and wait over here. Wait till I get done. And so you permeated the set with the on the air light on. You walked into the studio. All happened is I wasn't able to get you a beverage to enjoy the show.
Oh my God. I didn't even know what I wasn't supposed to do. All I knew was I was on set. I was on set. I knew that 5 minutes before that, Barbara Walters and myself were talking, and it was Gianna, because Gianna was on air. This is the time, I think this is the time you're talking about. Was this
I
the
don't
time?
remember who you brought with you.
So
I
this,
don't remember.
so Gianna was on air. So Gianna was on your show. Gianna was on One Life to Live, my baby.
Yes.
Okay. So if that's the time, I mean, I've been on One Life to Live multiple times, but
Yes.
so this time, just
It might have been that time, and you were in the building anyway. So that would make sense, because if you had a pass to be in the building, then you could have walked on the set.
I was with Barbara Walters. I was walking down. I was in the studio, and
Yes.
we were invited to be on the set because Gianna was on One Life to Live. Gianna had a scene.
I remember it now. It's a little clearer now.
Okay, so Gianna was on the scene. I mean, she'll die if she even hears it. Gianna's like so not about this at all. But anyway, so Gianna was a
Yes.
star of the show. So Gianna was on set, and just prior to us going on set, I remember my pinky toe nail polish wasn't right, so I had to like repolish. But anyway, that's besides the point. Anyway, so Barbara Walters, and she was like, "Hey, how are you?" I said, "Oh my gosh, Barbara Walters, what's going on?" I said, "My daughter is going to be on One Life to Live today," and we matched. We all three of us matched, which was crazy. We all had on peach. She did, we did. She had nothing to do with being on your show. We just happened to be at the studio.
Right. And you remember the setup there. The studio was literally 10 feet from the public sidewalk on 66th Street.
Yes,
10
yes,
feet.
yes.
If you walked in the front door, 10 feet later, there was another door, and you were in the studio.
But people don't even know this, Howie. No one on Earth knows this. It's just, I mean, it's a different planet now, but
It's a different planet.
it's a different planet.
It's just, it's crazy to me that they would have built a studio with, that studio was built in, I believe, 77. It was an armory that was built in 1901. It became one public tennis court before ABC bought it in 1977 and converted it to a studio.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it was the biggest TV studio in the world.
It was. It was huge. And
it was huge.
anybody.
I remember my first time going in, I couldn't believe the studio that they had. One Life to Live was in 3 places. 67th and Columbus, the building doesn't exist. TV One, which is now The View, was One Life to Live at a time for a little bit.
Oh my God.
So they do The View in that studio now, and that's no great shakes as far as size. And then we went to the Armory, and after the Armory, we moved down to the studio that you see Dr. Oz on. That was the studio where it ended.
Do you know how crazy that was for me, Howie? So when you said, Lisa, the first time, I mean, I had been there several times because of you. Yes. When you said, Lisa, come to the set, like, just, I laughed because I'm still nervous. I'm nervous like it's happening right now. You said, yeah, Lisa, I'm on the set. I knew your mom. And you said, come down to the set. I'm inviting you as my guest. And I think I overwalked. I think I became an actress on the set. I was one of the people on set. That's why you couldn't believe where I was.
You should have been an actress. I'm going to work with you.
It's okay, Howie. So I walk on set, and I'm meeting all of these incredible people. And you said, bring a friend. My friends were like dying. They were just died 1,000 deaths, because they were like, how do you know this man, Howie Zeidman, producer, director, set director? Oh, I go, because I know people. And not only, I mean, one of my best friends on the planet, love Howie for 35 years. Is it 35 years, Howie? Oh my God, in heaven.
It may be a little more.
It's don't even go there. Then it becomes embarrassing.
We'll say 35 because Paul is 33.
Oh my gosh.
I remember Paul going in my mother's house where
He's
you were at the time, going
my
into the
God.
kitchen. So
Oh my
we'll say
God.
35, and that's pretty accurate.
So you have been, I mean, we have been in each other's lives, our families together for all of this time, and you've been,
Yes,
and I'm seeing you go through it all. I mean, this is about you going, you had such a wonderful career at ABC
I did.
and
I
just
did. You know, and
amazing.
besides the soap opera, I did the Olympics. I won an Emmy for doing the Olympics. I did 2 Olympics, 1980 in Lake
Mm-hmm.
Placid, and I won the Emmy for 1984 in Los Angeles for doing a camera at swimming.
Wow.
So I have seen really good stuff. I'm in a movie. I know it's me because it's a wide shot, but my camera was a handheld camera. I was so close to the pool in the 1984 Olympics that I got wet when they turned.
You don't want to jump
that's
in?
the truth. That's the truth. I did a handheld camera, and
I'm so
how
proud
often
of you,
get to see
Howie.
the Olympics?
God in
Right.
heaven.
Yeah, it was so amazing.
So
Just
proud
so
of
many
you.
things. I was on Air Force One with President Ford.
Jesus Christ,
It's been a long
man.
career, and then eventually ABC settled down to departmentalizing their camera people.
Mm-hmm.
So you had news people that only did news events because they were in the news division. People that were in the entertainment division did the soap operas and Good Morning America. I don't think we had it. Well, I also did, another story. I did $20,000 Pyramid, the Chapman crane, which is a crane camera, but nobody uses cranes anymore except Saturday Night Live. And the crane camera on Saturday Night Live is the exact same piece of equipment that I used on Pyramid with Dick Clark from 1978.
And I just have to intercede here and interject. Anybody who's just tuning in and listening to this podcast, this is Howie Zeidman, just producer, director, television, ABC television, from One Life to Live to you, Mirror Pyramids, you name it. Howie has been a part of all of it. Overcame COVID, had COVID, overcame COVID. He's back to work. He's amazing. He was sick. His wife and he both were sick. They were on vacation, came back, could barely walk up the steps. And here we're talking to my beloved friend of over 35 years, Howie.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked during your illness. We text because you couldn't. When I knew you couldn't talk to me, I was like, Howie's sick. You were not talking to me. You were texting me. I was like, oh my God, he's really sick. But here he is today, overcame COVID and just still moving forward. And just we're reminiscing now about your history and what you've done in the history of television, ABC, Olympics, and everything, and between having relationships with so many celebrities.
Yes,
many, and working on Pyramid and Millionaire and with Michael Strahan and what you do is just so amazing, and you're so valued, and I value you as a friend, and you're so valued.
I value you too. Yes, I would crawl through fire for you if I needed to.
Howie, thank you, Howie, and I would do the same for you.
You called me up and said, "Can I do the podcast?" I said, "Why do you even ask? Why make it a question? Why just tell me what time to call?"
Oh, I love you, Howie. Thank you.
Yeah, you're good people, and I think we're the same in some place. We like to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I invited you down to the studio back then.
How many years?
I had no ulterior motive. I love to see people, their reaction, because nobody really ever gets to see a soap opera. It's what they call a closed set.
Never.
It's not an audience show.
Never.
There's no room for any audience there.
None. No. Never.
If you were lucky enough to know somebody that worked on a soap and you liked that particular show, you were really lucky to get in and watch a taping, because there were certain actors that didn't want people on the set. And if they were working that day, you were out of luck. you weren't coming in.
And
go ahead.
And I was there for so many of the incredible shows that just made history. And I still can't believe I was there and was a part of it. Not only was Gianna, my youngest daughter, on set, and I'll show that, embarrass her at some point. That she was on set and just catching a ball. I don't remember the actors' names but who they are. But I was on set behind the scenes just because you said, Lisa, okay, come up and whatever. And I said, oh my gosh, I said to you, in conversation, I said, oh my gosh, Joe Lando is so cute. Remember this one?
Joe, I still have to beat my wife off. I have to take the picture away from her when I show it to her.
Okay, so Joe Lando is an actor. He is, I don't know if he's still on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman or whatever. But Joe Lando, when we used to watch One Life to Live back in the day, I said to Howie, because we were friends. I mean, I would say to Howie, oh my gosh, I love Joe Lando. He's so cute. And meanwhile, I was married. This was like nothing, anything. I was like, but he's so cute. If I could ever meet Joe Lando, this would be amazing to meet Joe Lando. And my husband also knew at the time I loved Joe Lando, and he didn't care. I mean, it's every woman's fantasy to like a whatever, an actor on TV or in movies. So I said this to Howie, and I never in a billion years would imagine that I would ever meet Joe Lando. So
people are Googling Joe Lando right now.
They're Googling Joe Lando. So Joe Lando, very cute, right? So Howie and I, again, great friends. We would talk all the time. And he would say, yeah, maybe someday you'll meet Joe Lando. I go, I'll never meet Joe Lando. He's so cute and whatever. This is over 30, way over 30 years ago.
Yes.
And so I am in my kitchen and my phone rings. And I don't know what the heck you did, Howie. But anyway, so my phone rings. And this guy says, hi, Lisa. This is Joe Lando from One Life to Live.
I like the way you tell the story. That's why I didn't tell it.
You can reiterate the story.
No, I like the way you
and
tell
I'm
it.
going, wait. I go, Howie? So now I'm thinking he's pranking me. I go, wait, who? So now I don't even know why I felt the reason, a need to hide. Like I ran into my laundry room. I still remember like what I was wearing. If Jerry, whatever, was home. Anyway, so I run into the laundry room. I go, who? He goes, hi, Lisa. Again, this is, maybe I'm embellishing. This is Joe Lando.
No,
and I think I'm making it sexier, but he was that sexy.
Yeah.
He says, so Howie is a good friend of yours, and he goes, I know that you're coming in on Monday. That's what it was, Howie. He says, I know you're coming to the set on Monday, and I really want to meet you. I didn't know whether to faint, throw up. I didn't know what to do with myself. And then I didn't even believe it at the same time. So he says, you know what? If we have some time, how about we go to Central Park for lunch on Monday?
He was that type of guy.
Thought I was going to die. Die. And I did. I died. I died that night. And when I got, and it was real. It was really Joe Lando, and I didn't even believe it was him. And when I got to the studio on Monday, because I still didn't believe you, the entire weekend I was like, okay, Howie, you're making up your voice, and this is not you. This is not Joe Lando. This is you. So I get to One Life to Live, and of course I'm on set. And Joe Lando comes up to me and he says, hi, Lisa, I'm Joe Lando.
I remember. But,
I thought, I was like, is this, am I on another, did I die and go to heaven?
But the entertaining
And I did.
part of that whole thing is when other women would come to the show, it was the same reaction. And it was very entertaining watching the women meet.
I'm sure. That was
a show unto itself.
And I have to tell you, I was never, I'm not that person. I'm not the person who's like over, like in love with people on TV, especially like soap operas. I really wasn't. And what I loved about that interaction was he said, any friend of Howie's is a friend of mine. He was being normal. I'm overacting the part of Joe Lando, I think.
Yeah,
I'm totally overacting it, I think, and as I should.
he
And
was a people person and
he
a
was
chick
amazing.
at the same time.
He was amazing. He was amazing. And we talked, and it was one of the best days of my life. Of course, I mean, I was married. There was not we were not going anywhere. It was just like a
Exactly.
crazy, insane fantasy. I think one of my girlfriends came with me. I don't even remember
I
her
don't
name
remember.
because it was just an amazing, amazing, amazing day. And I thank you, Howie, for that, fulfilling that insane fantasy for that one day. Well, more than one day, because it was the entire weekend when he says,
Yes.
"Hi, Lisa, this is Joe Landau." And when he proved it to me, when I went there on Monday, I go, "Were you the guy who called me? Did you call me?" Because I still had to prove
Yeah,
it. I
I
still
can't do
thought it was
resumes.
you. I still thought it was you. He goes, "No, Lisa, this is Joe Landau. It was me who called you. I called you because I wanted to have lunch with you." I was like, this is never in my wildest dreams could I ever imagine that Joe Lando would be calling my house and saying, "Hey, Lisa, this is Joe Lando." But it happened.
And I love doing that. I
No,
love
you
being
make
able to
dreams
do
come
that.
true, Howie.
What's that?
You're a dream maker. Like you made a dream come true for me back then. I mean, it was, of course, I'm past Joe Lando, but it was
Yes, but
just.
in today's world, you do the same thing for people today.
Oh, thank you. I hope so. And
You
that's
know,
why you and I have been friends for so long, Howie, because you're that guy. Even with what you produce, the shows you produce and direct, and what you do is magic. You
and
make dreams come true, and you're a survivor on top of it.
yes,
You
and
know,
in current day, last night I watched the Gary Marshall special on ABC.
I miss that. Yes.
I was so influenced by that. I'm going to watch it again because it was just so amazing, and I never had the chance to meet him. And
Get
the way
out.
people speak
You
of
have
him,
never met Gary, really?
I never met Gary Marshall.
And you know
Never met.
everybody in the industry,
I
in
know
the
a lot of people,
world.
but I never had. I did go to a filming of Happy Days and see him
Uh huh.
and saw how he worked, but I didn't know the intricacy of how he directed some of his things. I do some of the things he does. I didn't learn it from him, but Richard Gere, when they were interviewing him, he put his head down and started to cry at the end. He couldn't
Oh
even
my
speak.
God.
So I'm going to watch it again. Hannah fell asleep, so it's on the docket for tonight or tomorrow. I have to watch it again. I missed the first 6 minutes, but it was a 2-hour show. I'm going to watch it again because of just the way people spoke of him. And that was my way of directing. It was when I directed, I was on camera at the time. So one day I would do camera, then I would take 2 days off to mark a script, and then I would direct a third day in the studio. It took 3 days to do a soap opera script. We shot 125 pages a day.
Jesus.
They shoot maybe 2 or 3 pages of a movie in one day. We did 125 pages a day.
My God.
So I was doing camera. If I was directing on a Friday, I would do camera Monday to Thursday. I would be up till 3 or 4 in the morning marking the script because the script, if I was directing Friday, it had to be turned in by Thursday. So it could be photocopied and distributed to whoever needed it. Only certain people got the director's script because it had the shots on them. But I would also change the script if I didn't like a line. I had the ability to cross the line out, make it what I wanted to. So that I became a better writer because of that. And the job, it paid well. That's why I said at the beginning of the podcast, I hope they do reruns because I'll make a lot of money.
I
But I
mean,
don't.
you
I don't
and
make
you
the
you
job.
always have, you always did, and I have to tell you, like I didn't even know you for any of that. We just became friends through our through your mom and
Through my mom.
I mean, I didn't even know anything, but we became best friends. Like you just, and I still love you. I just love your family. And I didn't even know. So Howie produces, directs, and some people connect with people because of the things that they do. We
Yes.
just connected because of our love of family.
Right.
And really, I mean, we connected because of that, because of the love of our families. And you just are
Exactly
so
right.
good at what you do, Howie. You're so good at producing and directing and you
I
know,
try. I'm gonna send you a picture.
okay.
I'm gonna send you a picture.
Okay.
I don't think you've ever seen it, but you'll know why. I don't want to make you have to edit the tapes. That's why I
Don't send me anything I have to edit. I'll make you edit it. So anyway, so
Yeah.
you're just, I mean, you're just such an angel. You know how God connects you? God connects you with people. Again, it's over 30 years because Brittany wasn't even born then. So Brittany's just turned 30. Like she just turned 30. And she
Yeah.
was not born when you and I met, but just amazing how just incredible the kind of person you are, Howie, and you're a survivor, man. I mean, the reason you survived COVID, I don't even know what you did to survive it. And that was a question too. I wanted to ask you that. I mean,
I
what was
often
it
ask,
that what
what didn't
what
the
was your
people do in the
survival?
past? Survival. One theory was we got it. It was manifesting in while we were in Aruba. So maybe being in the sun for 5 days, I got vitamin D, so I had an excess amount of vitamin D to fight it off. Maybe if I didn't go to Aruba and I got it in New York, walking around, I might not have survived with all my underlying stuff.
Because you had everything. You have diabetes.
Yep.
You say you're
Not
over,
insulin required,
but
but
you say you're
medication.
overweight.
Yep.
You have high
Yeah,
blood pressure.
the odds were against me, and that's why I was really scared. And I was scared, when I was fever free, I walked the dog, even though slow. I needed to get air, and I was saying to myself, my father died of a heart attack at 69. I'm going to die of a virus at 64.
Jesus Christ, my God, Heavenly
That's how
Father,
scared I
God
was.
forbid.
But I felt in my mind it was getting better. And you could
You
actually
know
feel
what?
yourself
I
getting
love
better.
what you just said. I love what you just said. In your mind, you were getting better.
In my mind, I was getting better.
And did you want to get better? I mean, of course you wanted to get better.
Yes.
Don't you think certain things are, and I know that you're saying the vitamin D, but you had everything to fight for. Like you have so much to live for. Don't you think positivity has a lot to do with it?
I do. I do. And, I was a member of the rescue squad for probably 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
And knock wood, which I'm doing, never got sick.
And you were with all of those people who were
And
sick.
I was with germs. And I tell you, in January, I threw out a box of masks.
Get out.
Never used a mask on the rescue squad. They were there.
Mm-hmm.
They were N95s, but we never used them.
Why? Why?
Because nobody ever got sick. And the only time that they might have used it if the person was HIV positive.
Mm-hmm.
Or we had...
and that's not even transmittable through breathing.
We had a lot of violent people that would be handcuffed to the stretcher. A police officer would have to ride.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody began to spit, they had spit guards that they put, it's like a plastic bag with netting over their head so they can't spit on you. Which is done while they're handcuffed and they don't see it coming because you do it from behind.
Mm-hmm.
But although those fluids and all the germs, nothing. Maybe my body built up an immunity riding for so long that...
You know what, Howie? I think that has a big part. I have to tell you, when I was growing up, my father always said to us, go outside and play in the dirt. My father was in the medical industry. And he says, go outside and play in the dirt and just get dirty. And don't be inside and not be, submissive.
I think there's a lot of truth to that.
There is. Go outside, get dirt.
To
So this is where a lot of these scientists are saying don't stay inside and like get yourself into a place where you have no antibodies anymore. Like you're
Yes.
using antibacterial soaps and all that stuff. And I mean, this is new, and I don't want to go into a whole, political banter about this, but I believe that exposing yourself to dirt and other diseases help to build your antibodies. I mean, I
Yeah.
think so. I believe so.
And a lot of thing is saying of a second wave of this coming through, that the people being in the house without going out in 2 months lessens the immune system. The immune system goes lower. So when you finally do go back into the workforce, you've lost most of your immunity because you haven't been out of the house. You haven't been catching germs on the subway, in an elevator. So we'll see what happens when things go back to normal.
I guess I should go out and take a jog everywhere. I guess I should go shake hands with my neighbors, because I've not been out. They'll be like, "Get the heck away from me!"
You haven't been out?
I mean, I have not, but no. I've been out very little. I just do minimal things outside because I try to be as realistic as I'm scientifically can and listen to what makes sense, what I think makes sense. But you got it. You overcame it. You're
Yeah, two people in this house at the
both
same
of
time.
you. You
What is
got
it?
it. You
That's why
got
we think
sick.
we got it on the plane going down, because we were both in the same place at the same time. I know I was asymptomatic getting on the plane. I had nothing because I was in the water. The water was cold. I would come out. I didn't get a chill. I slept on the floor vent because I had such bad chills
Where was this?
in the house during the COVID.
So
I had to
after you
sleep
got
on top
back,
of the heater
when
because
when you got back from when you got back from your trip.
when we got back from the trip and we were sick, the bed sheets, I had the chills. I was sweating profusely. We had to change the sheets, and I slept on the floor on a small mattress by the heat because I had the chill so bad from having like 103 fever.
Oh my God. And you
It
didn't
was,
feel the need to go to the hospital?
no, because I had a teleconference with my doctor. He saw me,
Uh-huh.
and once the fever started, like I got a 101.2. I was jumping for joy because I hadn't had that in 5 days.
My God.
And then the thermometer turns red when you have any fever.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, after the 5th or 6th day, I saw a green light. I can't tell you how happy I was.
Get the heck out of here, Howie.
I couldn't believe it, that I finally, that this, I owe it to this medication. A lot of people are against it, the hydrochloroquine.
So you think that's what it is?
It worked.
Okay. In your
It
case.
might not work for somebody else, but it worked for me. I'm still here.
Yeah.
So
What did you eat? I mean, did you fill yourself with vitamin C? Was there anything different that you did? Did you have
No, I
tea?
had no
Did you
appetite. I couldn't eat anything. I
But
couldn't drink anything.
no tea, no water? Did you do the
Nothing.
things that they said you
Nothing.
should do, like hot tea?
I had nothing.
And
That's
you
why I
just didn't
lost so
eat?
much weight. I drank some water, but it was difficult to drink
Did you
because of
want to throw
nausea.
up when you drank?
Nausea. No, it was nausea, headache, and no appetite. I did have taste and smell. Hannah didn't.
It's
So
so
she wasn't
crazy.
hungry. For that reason, she didn't eat.
So she lost a lot of weight too.
She lost a lot of weight, but in her fantastic cooking, it comes back.
Now it's
I don't
back.
love her any less.
You guys are the best. I know she didn't want to be on the show. Hannah, I love you so much, and wish you
She'll
could have
hear
been
you.
on to talk a little bit. But you're telling her story. You're telling you both your stories. And Howie, oh my gosh, there's so many questions. I'm sure that the listeners out there are going to have 1,000 questions for you, and I'm sure things I'm leaving out, like, for example, like what did it look? What did New York look like to you? That's the question. What did it
New
look
York,
like?
when I go to work, I
What,
do the early news. So I arrive in the dark no matter what.
okay, so you
Eastern
always do
Standard
that.
Time. So I always arrive. And my summation of it looked like New York the way it looks at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
There's just nobody. And It takes me, when I leave, normally an hour and a half to get home. I was getting home in 40 minutes. Because there's no traffic at the tunnel, no traffic on 9th Avenue, nothing.
Oh my God.
There's just no people out.
Wow.
And, unfortunately, I do see people not wearing masks.
You do?
I see people not wearing masks.
Do you want to yell at them?
I want to yell, but, is it worth it? Because a lot of them are homeless or, less fortunate people.
Yes.
But they aren't wearing masks in the street. And now's the time to be careful. And that's why I feel confident going in, because I'm taking the precautions. I'll be on the set. I'll wear a mask, even though some other people don't. Because
they don't wear masks on the set?
No, they're on TV.
Oh, they can't. Right.
They can't.
But they're 6 feet apart, right? So they're far enough apart.
6 feet apart. Yeah, they sit on the opposite ends of the desk, and it was measured 6 feet. So.
Yeah, because I watch ABC. I mean, they're really Michael Strahan is far apart from his co-host.
They're all far apart. So some of them, Robin is still at home.
I see she's in Connecticut and she's working from her house, and The View also. Talking about ABC, you work with ABC. They're all not. Whoopi Goldberg is not on set. None of them are on set.
I heard some of the View women are in the studio, because I do see some of the crew in the hall.
I see what Whoopi Goldberg is definitely at home.
Yes. And an email I got from the director of $100,000 Pyramid, which is a show I do camera on. We were supposed to shoot in April. It's been pushed back to August.
Mm-hmm.
They're rebuilding the set and redesigning the set for August, because they're going to put the desks 6 feet apart, and they're going to have no audience. So they're going to have more room to add cameras. If you move the desks apart, you have to have more cameras. So he's going to be able to have more cameras in August, but there's going to be no audience.
That's incredible. Yeah, so I'm watching with The View. I know Joy Behar is not. She was ready to go home. She was ready to not be on set. Michael Strahan, though, I see, is still definitely on set.
Yes, he's on set.
Yeah, he's on set.
I don't know if he had the antibody test yet, though.
Right. So is everybody being tested who's on air? How does that work? Oh, they're all being tested.
That they have, everybody's been tested on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Disney doesn't provide any testing.
They don't. Okay.
What they have been providing is meals for people in the cafeteria, but they just have a bag, a sandwich, yogurt.
Huh.
I was talking to an old friend there, and the guy came and yelled at me because I wasn't 6 feet apart.
Did you have a mask on?
They are taking good precautions with that.
But did you have a mask on when you were talking?
Yes, we were both talking with masks.
That's good. It must be very hard to do that.
I don't wear gloves because there's Purell dispensers every 6 feet.
Well, that's even better, because then you got to take off your glove. I mean, the gloves thing to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense, because you're touching and then you're touching again. So you're the only one who's protected. To me, if you're taking you're washing your hands and touching the next thing, which, like you said, they have Purell everywhere. I think you're safer doing that. I think.
Well, in my studio, there's only 5 people, and we're all 6 feet apart. Okay. More than 6 feet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I don't really worry about it. But, if they ask you to wear a mask, if you're not wearing a mask, you just wear a mask. So now I just decided to wear it all the time. Because they all know that I had it.
Everybody knows you had it.
Yeah, I had preferred that they didn't, but I'm saying,
Howie, I mean, my God,
who needs to hide it?
I think it's so much better that everybody knows. I want to take the test whenever it comes close to us. I'd love to take the test and just know that I've had it, and I've got it, and it's over. I guess I don't need.
Yeah, the antibody test. Don't take not the COVID-19 test.
I guess, the antibody test, because I don't go anywhere.
Because you'll get a negative because you're asymptomatic.
Right. Oh, the antibody test, yes.
But you may not, God forbid you should get that.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not getting anything. I go nowhere. Nowhere.
Publicly, I say, if you have any type of symptoms, if you think, hey, I'm just getting a cold, you have to go get tested right away.
I'm getting a cold. I have the sniffles. Is it allergies? This morning I woke up sneezing. Should I get the test?
You mean... But do you feel okay?
I feel perfect.
Okay. if you say to yourself, I feel like I'm getting sick,
Nah.
that's a light bulb.
And I don't get sick. So I'm not, if I feel like I'm getting sick, I will 100% get a test because I'm never sick. Ever.
Well, the thing, it comes on very violently. That's something I didn't say earlier.
Okay.
It came on all of it. I went to the airport, I had a piece of pizza, I sat down, and bang.
Like the flu.
I was sick.
Like the flu.
It was a terrible 5-hour flight home.
So like the flu. You know how you get the flu? I mean, like when you get the flu, you get the flu. Like it's just, it hits you 1,000%.
10 times, having the flu 10 times worse.
Wow.
It's just a sick that you've never experienced before. I had kidney stones. A level 10 pain wasn't as bad as this.
But you're back. And within how much time? So within a month?
March 18th to...
Okay, so
I
now...
guess the 2nd of April. The 2nd of May. 2nd of May. That's about the time.
So less than a month.
No, a little more than a month.
So March 18th.
A month and a half.
You say March 18th.
I had it March 18th and was normal, back to normal life for me, May 2nd.
Okay, May. Oh yeah, that's a while. That's a long time.
Yeah,
well, you did it.
We couldn't get the test. I couldn't get the COVID-19 test.
Jesus, my God.
That was the delay. And when it finally became available at the urgent care in the town, I had 103 temperature. I had to drive me and her to get the test. I was so sick, but I had to do it.
My gosh.
You can't ask my kid to come and take me.
Heck no. But you survived it, Howie. I am so grateful to God. I was so worried about you. You got my text messages every day.
Yes. You were on my call list. Hannah would have called you.
I was so worried about you. I was so worried.
I was worried myself.
And when I couldn't hear your voice, and I was like, wait, he's not picking up the phone?
No.
So I'm so...
There's a lot of people, we don't, people call, you look at the phone, not now, can't talk now. You're not one of them. If I see your name, I don't care what time it is.
Oh, I love you, Howie. I love you. I love Hannah. I'm so grateful to God that you guys are well and you're back to work and there's nothing residual that's hanging out and...
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'll give you my YouTube channel. There's not a lot of videos out there.
Oh, please, say it.
There's some One Life to Live behind the scenes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
With me. It's Mondon Productions. MONDON Productions. That's my YouTube channel. And my email, you have Howie Zeidman, ZEIDMAN @gmail.com. All one word, Howie Zeidman.
You're going to get a lot of emails. People are going to call you,
so.
email you and ask you questions.
Anytime.
Howie,
love to chat.
And you're on, well, of course you're on Facebook, but you're not on Facebook as a producer, director. You're just a regular guy on Facebook, right? You're a regular guy on Facebook. You're never
I'm not a bragger. I don't like to brag about it, but there's pictures up there, of the old times.
Well, you should brag. I'll do it. I will brag for you. Because you're just so amazing, Howie. Just thank you. And we're doing things together moving forward. And you guys will see it. You'll see what we're doing with this incredible director, just friend, kind person, loving heart. And just good to know that I want to show people there are great people like yourself who are top, upper echelon producers, directors who write shows, write movies. This is Howie Zeidman, and one of my best friends, and he's a regular guy who just is top notch. And we're on, and you're listening to him. And what a privilege, Howie, that we've been friends for so many years, and I thank God for you. And I thank God that you're well, and Hannah is well. And I can't wait to have you back on the show. But before we wrap, I have 3 crazy questions for you.
Okay.
And this is from Brittany. Okay. Number 1.
Yep.
If you were to write a movie, and please God, I know that you already have many, what would in this time, I should say, what would the name of the movie be?
That could go in a lot of different avenues, depending upon if it's a comedy. I often think of that.
Well, just off the top of your head, one movie real quick right now. What would the movie be called today?
Love to Make You Happy. Love to Make You Happy.
Love it. Okay, so the next, I love it. I love that movie name. The next movie would, the next question is, who would play you?
Well, we actually did something like that. Believe it or not, I have it on film. I started to do a movie. Listen to this. Things, in quotation mark, they stay the same. That was the name of the film. And it was about me going back and buying the apartment that I grew up in. And we actually were going to shoot in my old apartment where I lived. And the person that played me was Ron Palillo, Horseshack from...
Get out of here!
I have the film. I have the dailies.
See, you're too star-esque. You're too celebrity-esque for me to ask you, because these things really happen with you. So
yes,
for most people
who, video. It's on the YouTube site, but it's not open to the public. But I have it.
So for normal people who are not stars and who are not producers and directors, these
questions. Play me?
Okay, so all right, so yes, all right. Who would play you
Maybe
in the movie?
Son.
Okay, your son.
Because he knows me so well.
Yes.
And he imitates me, and I get really mad when he does that.
I love it, and that's perfect.
Yes.
And the third question is, I love that. I love these answers. So the third question, which is very, very hard. It's really a hard question. So if you were stuck in a foxhole and you could not have anybody with you in your family, not your wife, not your kids, not anybody, but someone, we don't have to know them. We don't have to know who they are. Who would that person... Now think about this. Think about it. Foxhole, you want to get out of it. You know, I'm not giving you any hints. I'm giving you way too many hints. Because the only reason I'm giving you hints is because you know too many people. Who would that person be?
My friend Jimmy, who's a fire chief.
Wow. Love it. And why?
Because he's similar to you. I would say you, but that's too cliche. You know, people say, of course he's going to say Lisa because he's talking to Lisa. But my friend Jimmy, he's similar to us, loves to help people, was a volunteer, became a fireman, was a transit cop, became a fireman, lieutenant, chief. Nice. And he's all about people. And he just, you know, he's too nice and people take advantage, but he kind of keeps up with himself. He has. I love it. He's just. We've been friends since '86.
And where does Jimmy live?
Jimmy lives in New Rochelle, New York. And we met because I needed 3 unmarked police cars for a film I was shooting. Mm-hmm. And through my stepbrother, he knew him, and he got me the 3 unmarked police cars, and Jimmy was one of the actors in it. He's not an actor. He wasn't an actor, but I made him an actor.
You're amazing. See, this is what you do, Howie.
Yeah.
This is what you do.
That's how we met.
This is what you do. You make stars out of everybody, and just, you know, you just touch so many lives, and I love... That
video is on the YouTube channel on Monday.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's called Caught in the Act. It's a short. Well,
we'll definitely be watching that tonight.
Yes, that was shot in 35mm film. It was a big project.
But we'll talk. So, I mean, the more we talk and we forget that we're on a show, the more you and I, I'm sure, are brainstorming as we're talking about all of this. And thank you so much for your incredible delivery. Your voice is amazing because you are from... Pleasure. What was your radio station? So people don't even know that part. We could stay on this. We could stay on the show for hours.
was on WMGQ
Uh-huh.
98.3 Magic. I did that for 10 years as a fill-in.
Jeez.
Hank wasn't thrilled because I worked a soap opera 12 hours a day, and then I go be on the radio for fun. And when my kids were little, in the Brunswick Square Mall, they played Magic on the radio in the mall, and I would come on, and Paul and Stacy would go, "Oh, that's Dad.
That's
my
my dad. Oh my God. And then they're embarrassed when they get older.
Then they're embarrassed.
Now they're embarrassed that you're directing and producing. And that's
Yes. And in the Ron Palillo thing, my son played me
Oh my gosh.
as a little kid,
Really?
just for a moment. Just for a moment.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll send you that.
Yeah, please do. Howie, it's just, we could do this, and like we do, I'm sure we'll hang up and we'll talk for another hour and a
Yeah.
half. But you need to go, like, eat dinner and hang out and just
Yes.
chill out. Are you going to tomorrow? You have ABC? Are you?
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
what time?
It's gonna
3
be
a.m.?
dinner time, and I'm gonna go out for the night.
Are you in night right now? It's bedtime. I think I kept you way past your
'Cause I have
bedtime.
to be in at 2:30.
Yeah, I've kept you way past your bedtime. It's now.
That's all right.
It's late.
I told you anything. Call me at 3 in the morning.
I know, Howie. You're the
The only
best.
time I wouldn't answer the phone is if we're on the air, because I can't.
Yeah. You know what I love about you too? When I'm down at when I'm at ABC, I could call you, text you anytime and say, Howie, I'm here. I'm here at ABC to see Tracy or Dolores.
Yes.
And you're
Let
like,
me ask
okay.
you this.
Mhm.
Last time you parked on Columbus Avenue, and be honest, did you get a ticket?
No. So okay, wait. You mean when I parked right out front?
Yeah.
Okay, so what had happened was, not the last time I got a ticket, but I took the ticket and I put it inside my car and I flipped it the wrong way, unfortunately, like an idiot. But so to answer your, I didn't have to pay for a ticket, no. So I did not have to pay for a ticket.
Okay. I was just curious because I was walking through the corridor. It's all windows, and I saw your car, so I knew you were there.
No, I was like, it was so cool. Like I was like, I can't believe I got this spot. And is this the day that Lee Goldberg was out front and
I'm not sure.
Anyway, so it was an amazing day, and Brittany and I still laugh about it, and Tara too. We laugh about it. So I got a ticket, but I didn't get a ticket, and I didn't have to pay for the ticket.
Yeah, parking there. It's almost $30 a day.
Yeah, you know what? Paying for a ticket isn't so bad if you're right out front.
Yeah. I'd rather be out front because it's only a $65.
I'd rather be out front. Parking, exactly. I'd rather be out front, get a $65 ticket, not have to, because I always wear heels to the show when I'm on set, right? When I go to ABC. So I can wear my heels right in the door and not have to worry about the 60 parking and walking 3 miles.
Nope.
So, Howie, it's always such a pleasure. Always.
It's a lot of fun.
This is so amazing that you're on my podcast, the Inventors Podcast. So
What took so long?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, we
I
did
do it
motivation.
anytime.
We did Motivational Monday. So anyway, just remind everybody how to look you up.
Yes.
Give your YouTube, because that's all you're really doing is YouTube. You're not promoting anything except for I'm promoting you because you're an amazing man.
Yes, I appreciate it. No, I'm not doing anything right now. Hopefully, as you said, there's projects on the horizon. And you could contact me. Well, my email, Howie Zeidman, one word, Z-E-I-D. People say I sent you an email, but they put Z-I-E, and that's wrong. So that's my personal email, Howie Zeidman, Z-E-I-D-M-A-N @gmail, or the YouTube channel as Mandan Productions. There's about 40 clips on there, but
spell it
if you're a
Mandan.
soap opera fan or a behind-the-scenes fan, I got a lot of that stuff on there.
I think that you probably don't want all these people emailing you. But anyway, so take a look at your YouTube channel, Mandan. Say it again. Spell it again. They could take a look at your YouTube, like it, share it.
M-O-N-D-O-N. Mandan. Those initials are personal to me. it doesn't mean anything, but it's the initials that are prevalent. So it's Mandan Productions on YouTube, and it'll bring you to all the videos.
Well, Howie, I thank you for bringing relief and peace to so many people who worry about having the virus, getting
Yes.
it, and you just being just a trailblazer, and you've gotten through it. Both you and Hannah have gotten through it, your survival, with all of the underlying conditions that they talk about all the time. And
Yes.
everybody looks at
It's
COVID
amazing.
as a death sentence, but you're a survivor.
I'm very lucky. I will say it publicly and privately. I was very lucky.
You're a survivor, Howie.
Thank you, Lisa.
It wasn't the matzo ball soup.
No. But we had that too.
Come on, you're supposed to say it was the matzo ball soup.
It was.
It was in part the matzo ball soup.
It was. The matzo balls were excellent.
All right, Howie, thank you so much for being on our show. I can't wait to see you in person and give you and Hannah
Yes.
the biggest hugs ever. You are so
Hopefully soon.
amazing. Well, real soon. We'll have dinner.
All
I
right,
promise
Lisa.
you that. Okay. God bless you. Love you, Howie.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure.
All right, take care. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So everybody, we're wrapping this up. Howie Zeidman, my throat hurts, not because of anything else, but because we've been talking and laughing for so long. Love Howie Zeidman for just being who he is. He's just so his authentic self. We've been friends for over 30 years and just love having people like him on our show. And certainly hoping that we helped you overcome some of your fears with the coronavirus. And he's a survivor. Howie's a survivor. His wife is a survivor. He has the support of his family. And just so happy that Howie was a part of this podcast, the Inventress podcast. And I know what he's going to do is continue to lift others up 2 hands at a time. I know he is. I know he is. So if you want to know how to get on my show, please email me. info@inventingatoz.com. That's info@inventingatoz.com. This is Lisa Ascolisi, Inventress. Continue to lift each other up 2 hands at a time. And sometimes you just have got to use your foot. Until next time, peace.